Good morning, guys, and welcome to this superhero ranking, the best animated series of superheroes ever.
Yeah.
With us, as usual, is our lovely co host who's also going to give his opinion, Tsunami. Tsunami, hi to you.
Hello, hail all, and don't forget the fourth host.
Oh,
Yes,
yes.
he's here doing his SMR thing.
And the amazing Golda.
Oh, we have a pole on my arm now. Yes.
You have what?
A pole here on my arm.
A paw.
Pole.
A paw. You mean
Paw.
a paw? His paw? Yeah,
Paw.
he's a very cute doggy. So we are all dressed in our Superman. Superman.
Superman me.
Yeah.
Because you guys aren't biased at all.
No,
No. Well, basically,
we're not indeed.
we are actually not, because if there's anything better than what we're gonna talk about, we will just talk about that.
Mm,
You know, I'm interested in what's actually good, not anything else. So.
yeah.
But yeah, okay, let's just address everybody and then we're gonna keep it tight as a video, and we're going to go through all the numbers 1 through 6, and we're going to address the comments and super chats if there are any after each number. I'm streaming on the superhero channel, and we do need the watch hours, so you can help us by watching there, superhero truth that is. And if you could support the channel, which is very important, you can do it on the G Hammer Empress channel because it's monetized. So yeah, now let's see who is where. So first of all, on the superhero channel, L Turner,
Hey yo.
Vic
Yo, yo.
Martinez here,
Yo.
Tsunami, Out of Context Empress, and Dear Clayton
Mm-hmm.
just appeared. Awesome. Good morning, guys. If you have our time here, or good evening. So Furious Dan over on the gaming channel, and Mike Drops, of course, Out of Context Empress, and Tsunami. Okay.
Yeah,
So
also Tsunami is asking how would you rank them, guys. So do write your rankings in the comments and we're going to address it after our rankings.
do you know what I heard?
Yeah.
And we're going to undress it.
No. No. Well, in a way, yes. Because we're going to undress what people say. So,
I was like, whoa, what the?
so yes and no.
That's what I heard. But yeah, I'm still with the cold, guys, so I'm doing my best to talk. Okay. Okay, so first of all, we have here on the screen the top 6 according to all of us here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. The top 6. Okay. We have to start just
The
after
party.
addressing Thomas. Thomas for the 349. Let's get this party started, right? Yes. Thank you so
Let's
much,
get
Thomas.
it started. Oh.
Thank you so much for the 349 New Zealand dollar. Wonder Woman salute. Not Wakanda forever.
No.
Which reminds me, I have to go to AliExpress and see if they have the Wonder Woman gauntlets.
No, yeah.
We can just get that. That's gonna be great. I can wear that every
There is
stream.
that.
Okay. So we have here what we consider to be the top 6. And why is the top 6, guys?
Because we grew up with those. No, because that's a consensual, amongst the superhero fans that these are,
The top 6.
the top 6, the big hitters, the heavy hitters. Otherwise, yes, we could put here, but that's for another video when we do
I
something
mean, we
like
could
all
put
time.
here like Iron Man,
These are-
Fantastic Four, but they're not the biggest hitters. So the biggest hitters,
Yeah,
the best
are these,
animated series ever, are those.
Are those here,
So we don't need to put more
No,
clutter in here or
No.
whatever. We just need to focus on really what
on those because
the very best.
this is as we said, these are the very best, and people usually have a hard time ranking them because they are the best. So
Exactly.
yeah.
Absolutely. So we're gonna start from tops from 6.
From 6.
Yeah, from 6. We're gonna start from number 6. So number 6. Let's go here first with Tsunami. Tsunami, what is your number 6?
I'd definitely say Spider-Man's my number 6. Big reason why is I know a lot of people like Spider-Man, but Spider-Man always has his like jokes and a sense of humor, and it takes away from a lot of the maturity and seriousness of some of the stories that he's going through. It's a team up thing, so clearly they were competing with Batman, which had released like a couple years beforehand. But yeah, it's still great. I think it's great. I love seeing all the Marvel superheroes come out and be represented that way. But like anything else, when you have to throw the whole team there, is that not taking away from the main character? So we don't really like. I don't feel like they explore Spider-Man specifically enough. The neighborhood web slinger. There's always these introductions of all these foreign characters, and it's like it seems like a hero of the week type thing where they try and induce excitement from people, not because of Spider-Man, but because Spider-Man and XYZ number of people that have joined in. So that's my pick.
Okay, awesome.
Okay.
Now, Logan, how about
Jalapeno.
jalapeno? Jalapeno about you.
Yeah, well, I'm also going to put Spider-Man here on number. First of all, let's say that no matter who is on the last 6 place, that doesn't mean we think it's bad. It's just someone has to be last. All of
100%.
those things are great, as we say. So number 6, Spider-Man. Now, for reasons being, now, to me, there is a Spider-Man cartoon which is going to be in a total different ranking someday. That does the things better than this one, by the way. But I still love this one because it was not my first Spider-Man cartoon. It was the second that actually. But it introduces him in the way he should be. I prefer Spider-Man at his college, university, whatever days. I hate him when he's a teenager. It's just boring to me, even when I was a teenager. Yes, I know he's the first teenager superhero that does the things on his own, and it's not a sidekick or something. Who cares? University, or grow up, and they gave me that in this cartoon, but not so much the introduction of the other characters, but what I didn't like in this one is that some things feel too rushed in some episodes. I know they didn't have time, but sometimes it's like they just introduce you a guy, episode later he's bad. It's not like, for example, with Batman, when they introduce you Harvey Dent and you have a couple of episodes to see who he is as a person, and then he turns bad. Here is this is the guy, and then he's bad. So, but just that. But otherwise, I like how they show the villains and their versions of it. I like how the only thing that they did good was with Venom, because they introduced Eddie Brock at least 3 episodes before he became Venom, which originally that wasn't the plan. Originally it was supposed to be from the very first episode, but the guy who was the showrunner, John Semper Jr., actually did his job. He read all the comic books and said, no, that's not how we're going to do it. We can do it differently, because people won't know who this Eddie Brock guy is. So we have to show them so that there is an impact. The humor, that's actually the only humor with Spider-Man that I like in this cartoon. Here the jokes are great, actually. In all the others, it happens what Tsunami said, it takes away from the seriousness. But here they're great. I remember a joke like he was tied up with a bomb with JJ, Jameson, and he said, "Can't you cut this off?" And he looked at him and said, "You want a divorce already? I'm hurt, but I expected that." So yeah, number 6 is great for that one. Indeed, they tried a new thing back then with the CGI backgrounds, which was a very new thing back then. They had they made a full map of the city, by the way. So they knew how the places would look like, which is great job again. And yeah, good Spider-Man, but there's one cartoon that is doing things better for me. People will pitchfork me for that.
All right.
Yeah. So your number 6.
Yeah, my number 6, and hear me out here. It has to be the X-Men. Because this is the series that I'm. What?
Controversial.
Yeah, I know.
Wish you explain why don't we?
Well, yeah. So it is just because, guys, of course, this is subjective, So I'm just gonna tell you my experience and why, of course. So X-Men, because I did see it, I did watch it when I was a kid, but I wasn't so invested in it. I don't have as many memories of it like I do with every other animations that are here on the list. I was super connected and invested in Spider-Man. A lot more. I wanted to be Spider-Man. I was trying to climb walls.
They also showed it
You know,
on
play.
Bulgarian TV, that Spider-Man cartoon. So it
Yeah.
was, for us, it was easier. They didn't show X-Men in Bulgarian TV. We had to have Fox Kids or whatever it was there.
That
so-
was later.
Yeah.
So to me, my exposure to X-Men was not as big as Spider-Man. Also, Logan did show me some episodes that I liked them, but still they didn't invest me that much in the series. I mean, I understood X-Men a lot better now when I see it now, and I understand how it's good, and it's really, really good. But it's just that it's not the same when you had so much exposure to Spider-Man and not the other thing. And there were so many interesting stories, and Peter was so compelling as a character. I felt that the story was very, focused on him, like it should be, and whatever he did and his struggles and how he faced different challenges and his relationship with Mary Jane and how that evolved, whatever, everything was just very, very interesting and compelling, especially when I was growing up. So that's the only reason. If I rewatch both series, which I have no time for,
Yeah.
I would maybe pick X-Men. I don't know, but for now I just can't do it. Based on my experience. So I'm just going to start placing these. So I'm gonna put Spider-Man here, and I'm also going to put X-Men here because these are both our choices. And I'm going to copy paste this. I mean X-Men, basically. So we have one more because we have to put it somewhere else as well. And then we can reference this. And then we can continue with the next number. Basically, I'm also gonna
Okay.
copy this and we're gonna be ready.
Good. Tsunami, so number 5 for you.
No.
No, no. Okay.
No, we have to go through what people say.
Oh, now after, okay.
Yeah, after each number. So
Okay.
let's see what people
Okay.
said. Like, who would you put the number 6? Just read the comments as they are.
All right. L. Turner says that Spider-Man from the animated series was more of a jock than a nerd. He continues with Batman Beyond creators bit the hell out of Spider-Man the animated series. Vic Martino says Batman the animated series best ever. Whoa, yeah, right on. What? No way, really? Oh, Thomas is shocked by your choice of X-Men. Oh, Vic Martino says, oh, I agree. X-Men 6th, Spider-Man 5th. He never cared for the X-Men. Thomas says, what? Wait, what kind of Mary Jane? Is Spider-Man a reefer? Oh, Lord.
What?
What
Vic
is that?
Martino never cared.
Wait.
We don't
What's a
understand that.
reefer?
Thomas, why don't you go ahead and explain yourself, please?
Is that a New Zealand thing?
Yeah, I have no idea.
You young whippersnappers with your modern talk, we have no idea what is a reefer.
Yeah. No cap, bro. Like, explain yourself. We're not sure of lingo. Or,
Mm-hmm.
El Turner says, so while we wait for Thomas, oh, yeah, a stoner.
A stoner. Ah,
That's what I
because
thought it
Mary
meant.
Jane. Ah, okay. Yeah, and now we get it. Okay. Should have said a stoner then.
Good Lord, Thomas. El Turner says, back in those days, animators had censorship issues with networks about showing humans on human violence. So to get around the problem, they had the heroes fighting robots. This is where Spider-Man worked. Wolverine as well. Vic Martino, what do you guys think of Batman and the current Cape Crusader? A whole other subject.
Oh, we'll talk
El
about
Turner.
that once we get to a certain. I have that in mind. Don't worry, Vic. Yeah.
El Turner continues, I'd put Spider-Man at 5 over X-Men. And we're all caught up.
Okay.
Okay, both chats, right? Yeah.
And Goldie sleeping in my lap.
And gold is beautiful. Okay, so let's start now. I mean, let's continue now with number 5. So, Tsunami, you're it.
All right. Continuing the controversy train, I'm going to go ahead and throw one out there that I'm sure is going to be unpopular. But I rank Superman as number 5. And my reasoning why, once again, let's go ahead and put the preamble out there. I love all these shows. I think they're all amazing. And I have specific reasons for why I'm choosing this. My specific reason for this is when Superman came out specifically, WB was obviously trying to market off the fame that Batman had already created and continue competing. And they thought they could do it again with Superman. Superman show's great. It's fantastic. It's did exactly what they were intending, and it just didn't hit because it didn't have its own identity uh, as clearly as Batman had created like this whole aesthetic and everything else, and really like blew the genre wide open. So it felt more like a cash grab, even though you get to explore Superman's story a little bit more and some intimate stories that have to do with just him on his own. It just turns out that I happen to prefer him when they introduced him into Justice League, etc., which is why I'm ranking him so low. That's my personal opinion, and that's that.
Okay.
Okay, Logan.
Well, I'm going to be even more controversial, probably, and put on number 5 Justice League Unlimited for me. Now, just because now I of course first prefer stories that are on one central character. If it's going to be a team, then I prefer the core team. The thing that they do great in that cartoon is that they actually expand on the just the Justice League cartoon, and they really give you though small unknown characters. They put some light on them that can make you interested in those characters indeed. But I always feel the big hitters. I always miss them. I always miss. If you give me an episode which is centered around. There was one with Supergirl and Green Arrow. That's a great episode, but I still wanted to see, Batman there or Superman or Wonder Woman, at least one of them. I was always like, okay, it's a great episode. I like it, but I miss the big guys to me. And I always found myself when I watched that cartoon, I always found myself watching specific episodes that are from that cartoon, from Justice League, that were actually connected with the story from before, like the Lex Luthor arc, and when Superman actually unleashes and he goes full on dark side and tells him, now you're going to see what happens when I actually don't have to hold myself. I wanted that story, which is again the core Justice League. The other guys are there, the smaller guys were also there, but the core of the team is there, and they still tell us, hey, don't forget that these guys are still here. My favorite episode is the adaptation of the story for the man who has everything, which is where there was a gigantic like a plant something on Superman that makes him think that he's in this dream world. Krypton is there, he's married, he has a child, he works as a scientist, everything is peachy to door because that's the only thing you can give him, the man who has everything. And Batman and Wonder Woman come there to see him and wondering what to give him for the present and see what is happening. That's a great episode with the Trinity right there. But and I always prefer those episodes to me. I know this is the finale of everything that started with Batman and Superman and then the Justice League. This is the big thing. This is the MCU before it was MCU actually. So DC kind of did it in a way first. But I will prefer my core characters. Otherwise, great cartoon, of course. I love it.
So now it's my turn.
Yeah.
Okay, on number 5, I'm gonna put Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, compared to the other animations that are, all that is left is DC, to me. I'm always going to put the DC animations first, just because I love them even more than Spider-Man. In any case, so I'm just gonna put Spider-Man. There's really nothing more to that. That's really it. And now we can go to comments. Who you guys will put into number 5?
Hail Lenny, hail Raiders of the
Hail
Cosmos
Lenny.
official for dropping
Hail,
in.
hail.
Let's see. To me, I'd rather Superman as a side character, says Thomas. Wow.
Can't be a
Wow.
side
Wild,
character,
Thomas.
sorry, Thomas.
Why would you say that?
I mean,
Can't be a
crazy.
side character. You just can't do that with him. Not
Thomas,
even in Justice League.
This is the first superhero ever created, superhero with superpowers. And all the other superheroes are based on him.
Yeah.
Their value systems, how they think, how heroic they are, whatever. Everything is based on Superman. He's the blueprint, he's everything. He's the most pure. So he's like the Adam, the Adam and Eve, the Adam of the superhero anything. So no matter what you think of him, that will never change.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
You
we
can't just
understood.
make him a side freaking character. He
We
doesn't
understood
deserve
that it's side character.
that
Yeah.
kind of a disrespect. Like, that's huge disrespect to him.
Yeah.
We wouldn't have any other superheroes if it wasn't for him.
Exactly.
So.
That's why always when you make a
James-
Justice League, it's actually he's there. Even if you make a comic book, because they tried that back in the 80s with him not being there in the Justice League, nobody bought those things.
I
Yeah.
have
James
Pomeranian
Gunn,
here.
did you take over Thomas's account? What's going on here? That's crazy talk, Thomas.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. El Turner says, yeah, I agree. I forfeit my decision to put Spider-Man at 5, and I want to insert Superman on my 5th slot.
Okay.
Vic says, after some animated thought, not sure where I would place Superman, probably 4th on the list. I'm sure that people's lists will change day by day, and the more you think about it. But that's really like the whole reason why I suggested this in the first place, is I think it's fun to have these kind of conversations, especially amongst fellow enjoyers, and maybe even some normies, where you get to see different perspectives.
Yeah.
But we're all caught up there.
Okay. So it's time for number 4.
Yeah. Number 4.
Tsunami. Which animation you would put it number 4?
Number 4 for me is Justice League Unlimited.
All right.
The reason why I'm picking Justice League Unlimited is basically everything Logan just said. They finally found a way to put very compelling stories about pretty minor characters, even though they mix with the bigger characters, in a really seamless fashion. And for 20 minutes or so, however long the episode is, you get to go ahead and be introduced to someone that's kind of minor in the DC universe, but they could be like linchpins to the entirety of the story, or maybe they're just doing something off to the side and they feel like, like a side person. There's a Booster Gold episode where he feels pathetic, but because of his little like minor actions, the people in the neighborhood really celebrate him as a hero, and it boosts his confidence. Or the very famous Wonder Woman gets turned into a fucking pig, of all things, and she's fighting. It's awesome. And Zatanna has to help Batman out, and there's a whole Kevin Conroy singing at the end. It's awesome.
Yeah.
So I think Justice League Unlimited took the lessons of the past, to include X-Men, which was the first like major team up thing, and Spider-Man, and found a way to go ahead and put pretty compelling stories, introduce these side characters, and make them feel meaningful, and like you wanted to explore more of the DC universe as a result of it. So that's my pick for number 4.
Okay.
Okay.
Logan.
Great. Let's see what we. Okay, so number 4 to me is Justice League.
As well.
No,
Justice League.
Unlimited.
Yeah.
Mine is the first one, the original. Now,
Okay.
so Justice League, as I said, number 4 to me. This is what we always wanted to see in cartoon form with the Justice League. Just the best of the best. The best were there 6 or 7 core members. We already knew who was Superman, who was Batman. They introduced kind of the Flash in one episode of Superman. Green Lantern was a different guy, but here that's a great version. This is the Jon Stewart I would like to see in that Lantern show, everything, because that's a serious guy who was actually an architect and a war veteran before that's part of his story, and you can see those things. He knows how to use the ring in his own way. Also, they put here Hulk girl because they needed a second girl. We know that that's the case. They said it many times. They made her interesting. They made her part of the team. They give her her own arc in those episodes. All of them work together. And here, unlike in Justice League Unlimited, when you have an episode which is not the whole group, but let's say just 3 of them, for example, Flash and Green Lantern and Hulk girl, again you feel it's Justice League. The only thing that I don't like, and that's what most people will say about that show, is in the first season, they were trying to find their footing with Superman. They were wondering, what are we supposed to do with this guy? And they nerfed him a ton. If people think he was nerfed in Superman the Animated Series, here it was a ton. They just push him aside. Someone is shooting at him. He goes into a rock or something, into a wall. He stays there for a long time because they didn't know what are the other guys going to do if he's there.
Nothing.
Basically, and so they nerfed him a lot, and I didn't like that. They correct that mistake in the second season. In the second season, it was way better. They said, "Well, man, that's Superman. We already did this, so what the hell? We're just going to give him the powers that he has." And he fought with Darkseid again. There was a great moment in which he was actually angry, and Batman had to stop him. And tell Quark, what the hell? What the hell?
Wow, if Batman has to stop you, I don't know what to tell you.
Well, it was because of what happened in the Superman animated show that actually continues in here, and they remember, wait a minute, we never addressed that, so we can do it here in the show. This continues. Great moments, like for example, in one episode, Batman was tied up from all the villains, and he still messes with all of them just by psychologically talking, and they say, well, that's Batman over there. All those guys are who they have to be. This is the Flash that they see there. That's Wally West, of course. But from that template, most people say, "What if we do Buddy Allen like that?" So, and no weak episodes. Actually, there isn't even an episode that I can think of and say, I can skip that. No, wanna watch all of them.
After they fix Superman, or
after they fix Superman. No, even before that, there were some episodes like that in which he's not there. But they nerfed him a lot, really. They also changed his design in the first season. They made him look kind of older, and then they said, well, what are we doing? Let's go back to the original design. Yeah. So yeah, but out of all Justice League cartoons, like the 70s and 80s, we had the Super Friends, the Super Power Team, whatever.
Oh, the Wonder Twins.
No, this is just what we wanted to see. This is if they ever try to make again a Justice League movie. Just watch these guys after first season. Just watch these guys, and here you go. Yes, and this is how you make the characters interesting. Yes, you have a second girl because of girls, but you make her interesting. She's not there just because you need another girl. They choose Jon Stewart as the Green Lantern, not just because you need a black guy, but because you can make him also interesting. They say, okay, if we choose that guy, we can make him interesting. Everybody can do Hal Jordan, but what about Jon Stewart? And then you find out about Jon Stewart and you say, but that's actually a cool Green Lantern. You don't need to be a black guy to like him or anything. I love him.
Okay, so now I have to pick number 4. This is pretty difficult.
It's getting difficult, right?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. So
Empress, go, Empress, go. Go, Empress, go, Empress, go. Go.
Ninja, rap, ninja.
Okay, so what's left is... Justice League Unlimited. I haven't put anywhere Justice League Unlimited, right? I haven't.
You haven't.
Okay. Okay, so I also gonna put this Justice League.
This Justice League.
Yeah.
Yeah, because of Superman being nerfed, right?
Yeah.
I knew it. The moment I said it, and I said, "Oh, she's putting it to number 4."
That's really not that's unforgivable.
It's unforgivable indeed. Many people still haven't forgiven that, even though they redeemed themselves in second season. But people remember that first season.
Yeah, you don't do that, Superman, man.
No, you don't. You just don't.
You do not. Okay, so now let's go to chat. What do you think, chat?
Chat says, let's see, Thomas, this is unforgivable, seriously. Then again, my only Superman movie I've actually watched was that Brandon Routh Superman Returns movie.
Inconceivable.
Inconceivable.
Yeah.
Inconceivable.
Thomas, not to sound, what was the word? I forget.
Snobby.
Okay, I was looking for another. But really, man, you can't form opinion about Superman based only on that movie.
The most boring Superman movie.
Man. I mean, if that was my only movie with Superman, I was just going to be super boring guy. The only worse movie than that is actually the new Superman.
Actually, yes.
Yeah.
But that one is the most boring.
That one is the most boring.
Movie is the most degenerate.
Yes.
But
exactly.
That's the Superman 2006.
2006
with Brandon Routh is the most boring.
The most
For
boring,
sure.
yes.
You have to watch Christopher Reeve's movies and Man of Steel. And,
Exactly.
Actually, some of the shows in the animated series, that's
The
like
animated
the
show,
must.
just to go with the animated show, yes. That's it. And then the
There's so
Justice
much
League.
more that you could choose from.
Absolutely,
Yeah,
absolutely.
like you watch the worst.
Yeah,
The worst
the worst
thing.
of the worst, and then you say I prefer him as a side character. Sure, that boring Superman I also prefer as a side character, man. I would even prefer him not being there at all.
Yeah, I'd rather just look at Lois Lane like, at that point.
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah,
get
Yeah,
out of here,
those.
weirdo.
yeah. I'd rather watch paint that has already been dried. You know, it's more interesting.
I mean, there's some scenes that I do love in that
Yeah,
movie, like the airplane catch
the airplane
scene
Oh,
and
the plane one is
shooting his
so
eye.
good.
You know.
and the scene where a guy shoots him in the eye. That's great.
Yeah.
But besides that, I can't remember the rest of the movie. There's just a little bit, and
I
I mean,
remember him lifting up a whole island of
yeah, that is
kryptonite,
great.
and Lex Luthor wanted land again,
Land.
land.
Yeah. Okay. Continue with reading the
Mm.
comments.
L. Turner says the problem with Superman is that censorship hurts modern Superman cartoons because I'm the older cartoon of the 1950s. They show guns shooting at him and the stakes just feel higher.
Mhm.
Okay. Um, Thomas says also the only Batman will always be Kevin Conroy. Rip. Yeah. Whoever's got to follow up that guy's act is got his whole work cut out for him. Rip Kevin Conroy.
Okay. Anything else?
Yeah, there's quite a bit more.
There's
It's
more,
just
there's
kind of
more, yeah.
jumped on me.
Okay.
Uh, Hal Jordan is the best Green Lantern in my opinion, says Thomas. Vic Martino, so far for me, X-Men 6th, Spider-Man 5th, Superman 4th, and I agree, the best Green Lantern, Hal Jordan by far. Vic Martino says Hal got screwed for affirmative action. I really like John Stewart a lot, especially the way they depicted him,
Yeah.
personally. But anyways, L. Turner gives his list: Batman, number 1, 2, X-Men, number 3, Spider-Man, number 4, Justice League, number 5, Superman, and number 6, Justice League Unlimited. I agree, John Stewart had depth in that cartoon. That's
Yeah.
how I felt about it. Super
Spider-Man
Friends is
was
ridiculous with the
just
Wonder Twins. Yeah.
just Spider-Man was 2 times here, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Continue today.
Yeah, Vic Martino agrees that Super Friends is ridiculous. Yeah, but
Yeah.
it's all we got at the time, so it's
Totally.
still
Yeah.
watchable, I guess. Thomas says, I'll make a very controversial comment. I love the Ryan Reynolds Green Lantern movie.
That's the only thing with Glen Lantern you have seen, Thomas, right? If it is, then okay, I understand that. But
I mean, I
Yeah.
like Blake Lively. That's his wife. I guess that's where he met her at. But
oh, was
other
that
than
it? Was she in that movie?
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot that. Look how much I remember from that movie. I remember him being ridiculous about, look at my suit. Oh,
Yeah, that was funny.
yeah. I mean, the
And
thing
all I
is that this
remember is
is not
Blake
how
Lively.
Jordan. It's Ryan Reynolds doing his Ryan Reynolds.
It was very weak, like narratively, everything was weak. Like even when I was a
Yeah.
kid, I'm watching that and I'm like, that's boring, man. Never seen
Yeah.
such a boring superhero movie. Like,
Yeah, you
what's
give me a
happening
boring
here?
movie about a guy who can create literally everything with his mind.
That's literally worse than Superman 2006.
Yeah.
It's worse.
And they put a lot of villains, and then Parallax, which is supposed to be one of his greatest. Actually, Parallax is Hal Jordan in a way. But they decided we need the Galactus level threat, and again it was like a space fart cloud thingy, and they say, why do you put Parallax now? Give me a second or third movie, just focus on one guy, put him on Oa, make the training. But they went again the cheap route, like, oh no, so just some scenes on Oa because CGI is expensive, and then we put him on Earth, and they say, but no,
It was a bad CGI as well.
it was bad CGI. Thomas, if you want to see something good with Green Lantern, there is an animated movie called Green Lantern First Light. Watch that. Yes.
Yeah. And hail to Men of Subculture.
Hey, Man of Subculture.
Hail. Okay, so it's time for number 3. So number 3, Tsunami, what is number 3 for you?
Number 3 for me is Justice League. The reason why I chose Justice League at this point in time is because they had lots of years and existing models to go ahead and put this together, number 1. Number 2, despite his nerfing, Superman is the soul of the Justice League team, and they did a fantastic job of actually showing how he is the leader, how everyone constantly goes back to what would Superman do type of thing. They show the Trinity in action. They show other characters getting involved. They're dealing with cosmic level threats, like absolutely the script for a movie done in 2 to 3 episodes tops. And it's really a great introduction to, like the foundation for DC comics in general, with the three, and then of course extending out to the rest of the Justice League itself, to include Martian Manhunter, who obviously becomes more prominent throughout the story and then becomes really like a linchpin for Justice League Unlimited. So this is the introduction. The only reason I'm ranking them lower than is because they already had like someone else already drew the blueprint for them. They just kind of continued on with that. In terms of storytelling, though, again, another fantastic version of how do I fit this epic story into 20 to 30 minutes tops. And they managed to pull it off, and it was very engaging.
Okay.
Great.
Okay,
Yeah.
now your turn.
So number 3 for me will be X-Men. Yeah, we put just here the X-Men 90s, right? And then not with 97 or
Yeah,
with 97, because it's a totally different thing.
Of course that we put the original X-Men here.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, X-Men, number 3. Now that show, from the first 2 episodes, actually from the first episode, dared to do something that no show actually tried before. That they kill off a character. You know, they spoilers for the 20 plus years old show. Morph, who was he's based off another character called Changeling. They had to switch the name because over at DC, Beast Boy was already called Changeling for some unknown reason, and they decided, okay, we're going to create a original character that's called Morph, but he's part of the team. They introduce him, they show you that's the guy. Wolverine even says that's the only guy who ever made me laugh, so they make that connection of they were friends, not gays like they tried in 97, but anyway. Yeah. And that was the initial idea. They had that idea, we need to kill off a character. They wanted that to be a different character, but that's a different story. And even the executive said, well, you can't do this, it's a kid show. And they said, but we want to show the kids what will happen, what will be the repercussions, how it will affect the team. And they did this. So they stuck to their opinion and said, no, we are doing that. You're going to see that it's going to work. We can do that no matter censorship and things like that. They don't kill him off, because that don't explode everywhere or stuff like that. That is a nice way to do it. And I like that they do it without actually needing to be, oh, that's an adult animation now. We want to show you how his head is flying over. No, that's the way. Here you go. Not everything needs to be degenerate and rated R and everything else.
Well, we didn't have that back then.
Yeah.
Especially for no reason.
So you can work around the censorship. Actually, all of those cartoons had that censorship, as we said, but the creator said that gave us more creativity. They're on record saying that, and they said we had to think how to find the way to work around that. And of course, it shows us the greatest versions of all these characters. Now, that's not exactly the original team that they started, but here there is no exactly an original team. You just pick the best guys and you decide, okay, these are our guys for the team. This is our team. So this is the best version of the team. Best Rogue ever. They went with the Rogue from the 90s that already has the powers, because otherwise, guys, she's not interesting if she just needs to touch you. But when she has superpowers, way more interesting. I like the art. This is how you should draw superheroes, male bodies and female bodies. This is it. This is proportions. Not ginormous breasts and everything else,
and
but
legs that go
and
for
legs that
miles
all
and
wait
miles.
for miles. Yeah, it's not stylized like some of the other cartoons. Now, admittedly, that makes the action a bit more stiff at some places, but I still like it. They rectified that in 97 still, but
Because there's a
those
bit
were
more
different
detail
times.
in the body or whatever.
Exactly. But the details was I still remember Rogue laying on the sofa there.
Yeah,
Anyway.
beautiful.
Yes, it's beautiful. And even Gambit was the French guy. He's Cajun actually, but the only thing that is again my gripe with that cartoon, that's why it's not higher. I think number 2 is great actually. Again, some of the episodes felt like as if you have to read the comic books so that you know what is happening. Because there were really episodes that were those characters already existed and some things happened. There is no clear connection, and I say, wait, why Cable appeared? He had normal hand, and I say, when did he get the robotic hand? Because episodes later he has the robotic hand, and I say, how? You never show that. Or off screen already Angel was Archangel. I mean, he turned into Archangel in another episode, but then Psylocke appears and he knows her, and I say, wait a minute, who is that? So if you haven't read the comic books, you're actually kind of left in the dark, because the creators were thought it's what is happening now in comic books, so you know it. And I said, hell no, I'm from Bulgaria, I don't have all the comic books. So, that's the only thing.
That's how it
Some
felt
episodes
getting
felt
comic
kind of
books.
disconnected to me.
What Tsunami?
What, Tsunami?
That's how it felt getting comic books at the time.
Mm.
You would go to like your comic store. Obviously, I didn't come from money, so I would, scrape together whatever I could, and I'd try and get the next episode of whatever, and I'd be completely lost.
Yeah.
Or they'd be going in this completely new direction, which would be explained over the entire series. But there was a lot of times where I just kind of jumped into something, and I was like, "What the hell?"
Yeah.
And I just kind of shrugged my shoulders and went on with it. But I
Yeah,
understand what
but,
you're
but I
saying.
never
just
had that
wanted to
feeling
add that on.
in any of the others that are going to be my one or two, and even some of the lower things. But that was my only gripe, of course. But from here on, it gave me the version of Wolverine that I love. I knew he was in comic books, but here they had episodes that were centric about him, but I didn't want to watch only those episodes. Actually, I always want to see, but what happens with Cyclops there in another episode, or with the team, or even just some of them, they're rogue centric episodes, so they knew how to do that in a great way and to show the team. Magneto was great there, one of my favorite villains, not exactly a villain, but whatever. So great job on how to do teamwork. Nobody was nerfed here. Everybody was the way they're supposed to be. Great Cyclops indeed, because man, if people just watch the movies, nobody will know who Cyclops is. Just the guys watch that.
Yeah. Okay.
Exactly.
It's time for my number 3. Are you ready, guys? Do you have your pens?
Controversial again?
What of the?
Are we getting controversial?
Yeah. So number 3 to me, and I'm going to elaborate.
Why are you highlighting the Batman question, Josh? Why are you highlighting the Batman?
It's going to be
What?
Batman.
Oh,
Oh no! Somebody died.
oh my God!
Fell off a cliff.
You might have had a heart attack.
And the
Or a
angry
stroke, I'm
mob
not
with
sure.
pitchforks, tar and feather, and every tar and feather her guys are.
Come on, this makes things more interesting. But no, really, this is because guys. I spent a ton of time with this with the Batman animated series, so this time is not something that I didn't watch enough. Like I didn't watch enough X-Men. I did watch enough, and I did love every single minute of what I watched. So there is that. I mean, it's pretty perfect and great animation. So why the heck is it number 3? You ask. Well, it is because Superman as animation and Justice League Unlimited gave me 2 things that Batman just cannot give me. Superman animated series.
No, I mean they
told
gave
she
you
was
Superman.
Biased, guys.
What?
I told you were biased. They came out wearing Superman shirts. Thing
No.
is rigged.
No, I'm not biased. I'm
No,
telling you.
listen, we just joke. of
I'm
course.
telling you
Listen
what
to
I
her.
like more, why I like it more. So you
I'm
have
playing,
to.
I'm
You
playing.
are listing things that you like more or not, right?
Yes, I was joking around. Like,
Yeah.
that is crazy.
Okay. Okay. So Superman the animated series, gave me this other. I mean, it's another tone. It's another tone, and the stories that Superman has, to me, are more compelling, and I'm super connected to Superman. I really understand Superman. I'm just so in tune with Superman. So whatever happens with him and how he was portrayed here, to me, is amazing. It's gold. I just appreciate Superman more as a character, as a setting, how he whatever it is about Superman, just appreciate it more than Batman in general. So, for me, this was like a dream come true to have such series with Superman, just like it is with Batman. But in between the 2 characters as well, I just prefer Superman. Just gives me a lot more. So if I am in the mood to watch any of these animations, I will not choose Batman as my first go-to. I don't want to get into that dark setting in the night and whatever. I just don't want to get into that
They're close during
darkness.
daylight.
Okay, but
I'm
it's not the
joking.
same. Like the
I know,
whole
I know.
color grading and what feeling this gives me on the inside is just a lot of darkness. And what feeling, Justice League Unlimited gives me, what Superman gives me, is just a lot of light and so many other heroes. And Superman is there with the other heroes, and Batman is there. He's great in Justice League Unlimited. So I get to have Batman too in Justice League Unlimited, and he is amazing there. So I have to scratch my Batman itch with Justice League Unlimited and Justice League. For that matter, I'm getting also to scratch all my other heroes, anything, because we didn't have Wonder Woman cartoon
No,
like
actually, no.
separately
That's
ever. She didn't get anything, although she's the third superhero, the third of the Trinity.
of the Trinity, but the first female one, actually.
Yeah, so she didn't get anything, and the only places that I can really see her shine is in the Justice League animations. And of course, I love the Flash, who also never got his own animation. I don't think so, right?
No, I mean they appeal it in the Super Friends thingy, but that's shite. So,
I don't count that as anything.
so yeah, that's
So
it.
I like Green Lantern, I like Supergirl, I like Martian Manhunter, and even like Hawk Girl. And those characters were so well fleshed out, sorry, so well shown that all of that, like a package, to me, Justice League is more valuable to me because it gives me all those heroes that I can never watch like separately, and it combines them in a very amazing way, and it does give enough time for character development actually of each of those heroes. So to me, that means a lot more to me and gives me a lot more as a superhero fan than Batman animated series because it's focused, only on Batman. I'm not sure what cameos the show has by this point.
Batman the animated one.
Yeah.
Oh, Zatanna was there. For
Okay,
example.
great. But that's nothing compared to Justice League.
Yeah. No,
So,
I think.
and Superman also had some cameos as well, including Batman,
yeah.
I think.
Oh, actually, yeah, of course. Actually, Superman had more cameos than Batman the show.
Exactly. So I'm a superhero fan of like all of those superheroes. Although I love Batman and Superman and Wonder Woman the most out of all superheroes of all time, when those shows, the Justice League, Justice League Unlimited, the Superman shows me like more of what I love. Of course, I'm gonna pick that. I can't just pick Batman because it's amazing. Because the other
Yeah,
are also amazing, but they don't give me that. They don't give me the light
totally get it.
that
Yeah.
I need. I want to feel, like the power and the amazingness of those superheroes, and more the light side of things. Still, there's a lot of dark topics in them, but Batman is just dark. Okay, he's just darkness, 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 and I'm not gonna be always in the mood to watch that. I'm almost never in the mood.
You
Actually,
can always watch the Batman from 2005. But that's another ranking there.
okay.
Stay tuned, guys.
So that's my reasoning. And that's it. I mean, because we all know that whatever you watch and whatever you like, it has to give you something that resonates with you the most. And whatever quality these shows have in comparison, it's always going to be about what they give you, what they give to your soul. So that is why the other shows just give me more of what I need and what I can reflect on, just more. So that's it. That's it, really.
Nice.
Now we can go to the chat and read the outrage.
No, there is no outrage, actually.
There was. Read it. I'm
Really?
gonna mute the
I
mic for a
think
bit.
people were enjoying.
That's all good. Lord Ragneel in the house. I'll get to your comments later. L Turner says, wait, shouldn't Justice League and Justice League Unlimited count as one selection, considering that they were made by some of the same animators?
No, that's a
My
great
personal
question.
opinion,
That's a great
as
question.
the
Yeah.
random, not associated with anything professional, like weirdo that's on the stream, I would say no. And obviously because Justice League is about the core characters with minor introductions.
Yeah.
Justice League Unlimited went into a completely new direction where Martian Manhunter is calling for heroes across the fucking spectrum. Because there's always that question of like, wait, how many superheroes are in fucking New York, for instance? In the Marvel universe, Justice League Unlimited took the step further and we're like, let's see what everyone's doing and let's try and team them up. So I think they're completely different concepts. I applaud the shit out of them for doing it, and that's why they're so rewatchable in my opinion, even for characters that I don't care for.
Yeah, also Justice League Unlimited doesn't count as a season of Justice League. It's totally different show, as we say. It counts like its own thing, yeah.
Continue.
Empress. Oh, okay, got it. Thomas says again, the animated X-Men Rogue has me gooning. Who didn't? And if you guys were around back then, they used to have swimsuit episodes. But anyways,
Oh, yeah.
Turner says, how do y'all think superhero cartoon animation has aged in comparison to these 6 selections of cartoons? What
There were
superhero
some good
cartoons?
things from 2000s that were actually okay. As I said, there was one Spider-Man cartoon that does things better to me. So,
I think they did an Avengers one. If you're going to ask me
Avengers
about
Third
anything,
Mightiest
that's the last
Heroes,
thing I
yes.
remember.
Yeah,
Yep,
that's
Earth's Mightiest
one of the
Heroes was
great things. Yeah,
badass.
yeah. Mhm.
I think that some of the newer
Us-
animations are actually worse in
Indeed,
terms of
indeed.
animation and
True.
quality of
Agreed.
everything.
I mean, that new Spider-Man thing that your friendly neighborhoods, it's a woke trash, and it's also just the quality of how you draw
Sometimes
it.
they even skip frames.
They skip frames. It's just cheap looking. I say, man, I knew they did animation errors in the 80s in some cartoons and even the early 90s because they were handled. But man, I prefer that. Really, they were beautiful.
L. Turner continues with Cyclops was 1,000 times better in X-Men the animated series than he was in the actual Fox Bryan Singer produced X-Men
Absolutely.
trilogy. They did Cyclops bogus in the movies. I agree.
Absolutely.
He just looks like a cucked, very silent character, clearly not the leader of the team. And yeah, they did him pretty wrong. He's never been one of my favorites, but they missed an opportunity there, in my opinion. Okay, lots of outrage, lots of outrage.
Yes.
Well, she's entitled to her opinion. Okay, but we can agree to disagree about Batman, says Al Turner. Yeah,
Okay, okay.
same
Of
thing.
course.
Can
This is
I
an
can I
opinion
spin
show.
it in this direction, guys, so you can broaden your views,
Perspectives.
I
Yes.
guess. So there's two ways that people can think about anything. You know, when you rate a movie, a game, or whatever. You know, one is what is objectively the best according to, in this case, the script, presentation of the character, episodes quality, storytelling quality, whatever, animation quality, whatever it is, the metric. So there's one. Is the real objectivity. If you can measure all of those things, you can say yes, for sure, without caring or not caring about this character, this animated series are better and this is better. Well, that's one, and you can have this chart if you want. But here we're talking about how we feel about each and every one of these. Because we don't have the resources to measure all of these metrics to determine which one is better. Yes, you know, universally it's considered that Batman is like the best thing since sliced bread. And I can accept that I don't care. I don't care about what is best in general.
In general.
I only care how I'm feeling when I'm watching a certain entertainment piece because it's supposed to entertain me and to make me feel something, if it's good, of course. And by that second metric of a personal experience and feeling, I can have my own choice. Batman can still be Batman can still be the best thing since sliced bread. Like as much as Batman wants, and I have nothing against that. But you still have the second metric, which is the personal, what this personally gives you, which nobody can take away from you. This is something that's you and the animation, you or the movie, you or the game. This is something that is just between you and the game. So it's not actually like opinion. It's like, well, yeah, it's opinion, but it's based on all of that I explained. So that is always going to be just me and whatever animation we're talking about. And whatever else objectively is the best according to all of that metrics can be the best as much as it wants. So I don't care at all like what it is. I just care how I'm feeling towards those episodes. So I'm saying, yeah, Batman is number one for most of the world. Let it be number one.
Yeah.
The rest of the things are number one for me. Not just for me, and that's it. Just for me. Nobody should subscribe to what I say.
No.
It's just
Of
me.
course.
And that's most important. Again, it's a piece of art, and everybody's gonna experience art in different
In
ways.
different way, yeah.
I have my own special connection with superheroes and why I love them. And those animations, the other animations, give me more of that. So I can't just choose Batman so I can please anybody else.
Yeah, no.
That would be disingenuous. That would be super not objective towards myself, where in general what it comes out of my mouth, if I just agree with everybody just because everybody thinks like that, that's just not truthful, and I will never be like that. So you can have Batman as much as you want. I can have also Batman as much as I want, and I can also have the other animations as much as I want.
Yeah.
So number one metric, objectivity. Okay, Batman. Number two metric, your personal experience. It's not Batman to me.
Art is subjective after all, so that's the idea.
So you won't want me to just repeat what everybody else is saying, right? Because that's just not okay. Like literally not. So yeah, we can continue now. You can read the rest of the comments.
L. Turner says, but we can agree to disagree about Batman. Indeed. Vic Martinez says, I go back and forth with Justice League and Justice League Unlimited. Either one can be 3 or 2. And sorry, Empress, Batman is number 1. Actually considered the best animated series by most. Right, she just explained her difference. But he can appreciate your reasons. Yeah, I rock. The hell? I rock with Empress too. She's cool, but Batman's number 1 in my books is L. Turner. He continues, by the way, I really appreciate your opinion, Empress, because you are unapologetically yourself, and I respect and appreciate that about you. We're cool.
Thank you.
Truth in the house.
Hey, Truth.
Y'all from this side of the chat. What's up, Truth? Thomas is out for the night. People be like what they like as it should be. True, Vic. Yeah. Have your opinion. You're correct. Art is subjective, 100%, says L. Turner. And then over on the gaming channel, we've got Lord Dragneel in the house. What's up? Good morning. Truth is freaked out by your pick. And he agrees that you guys are like you two with your Superman shirts. Of course, there's bias. Just kidding. CS Kano in the house. This is crazy.
Kano, that's
Kano
crazy.
Says, Batman the Brave and the Bold was more interesting in my opinion. You are insane, sir.
That's the 60s Batman right there. I mean, it's an interesting show, but it's...
Make an appointment with a doctor right now. That is
fight
insane.
Me. He says fight me. No, you're absolutely. I mean, if this gave you the best experience, like I said.
If it gives you the best experience, yeah, just to me, it's not the representation of Batman as a character, as his personality. That's the 60s Batman there along with other characters. That's why it's called The Brave and the Bold. Like the comic book that is usually a meet-up with of two characters or even more. It's a great show, but it's the 60s Batman on steroids to me. But otherwise, yeah, it's interesting. I love it. I also showed that to my son. I showed him all the Batman things. Different versions.
I have to get up. A little pause because of my cold situation, but we're gonna get back to number 2 in a second. So, talk about stuff, guys, and
talk about the stuff.
We're gonna return.
Truth says, nah, The Brave and the Bold was really good. Yeah, really good is fine. The comment was, I found The Brave and the Bold more interesting. That's the outrage here. But anyway, back on the superhero channel, we've got L. Turner. Did he say Batman the Brave and the Bold? It really is subjective. Indeed. Everyone's allowed to have their opinion. It's just a good fun, good faith, good fun argument. Obviously.
Batman the Brave and the Bold actually had one great episode that showed to everyone that those guys can actually make a great Batman story. It's called Chill of the Night, in which he was actually he found Joe Chill, the guy who allegedly killed his parents, and it was like a fight between are you going to avenge now or keep to your rule of not killing him? That's actually kind of based off one older comic book from the 70s. And it's a great episode because he actually shows to him who he is. He gets off his mask and say, I'm Bruce Wayne, the son of the guy who killed. So in a way, you created Batman. And then Joe runs to the other villains because there was like he was selling weapons or something, and he said, guys, it turns out that Batman is the son of a guy that I whacked a long time ago, and everybody of the other villains were, so you're responsible for Batman actually, and they nailed him. And they say, well, that's a great episode. It wasn't a team up with other characters or something like that. But Batman the Brave and the Bold is doing the same thing like Justice League Unlimited. It shows you other characters that it spots them in it puts them in the spotlight. Actually, Plastic Man was great there. The freaking Blue Beetle, not so much. 'Cause I don't like the
It's
third Blue Beetle.
too
I prefer the
bright.
second one, Ted Core. But it's a fun show. It's really good show. I just over that if I want more fun, child friendly show with Batman, I always go to the Batman from 2005, I think it was. But it's a great show. Again, it's really good. It's quality show. It's just a different take on Batman. It's just not the character to me. This is the version of the 60s, as we said. With the Bat Hound and the monkey Batman, and then he had the rainbow
It's too
suit,
bright.
whatever. Yeah.
Exactly.
Mm.
When it gets ridiculous and it's like, oh, it's all about gadgets or the extras,
Yeah,
not
yeah, yeah. I mean, he
uh,
had he had a laser sword in his belt, for goodness sake. He takes a piece of it, and then it was, and he was flying with a bat jet and stuff like that. And I say,
and that's where it starts to feel
yeah,
like it's a MacGuffin or a Deus Ex Machina, not
exactly, yeah.
not Batman the detective who has to figure this shit out. It's just
Mm,
there's some MacGuffin where you can. Anyways, I don't have a problem with the car. Well, I shouldn't say that. I think it's
yeah.
too fucking bright for one thing to match the Batman mood. And but I mean, overall, it's still like a fine cartoon. I'm not gonna rewatch it,
No, I
and I
just
think that
I'm not going to watch the full thing through and through. I just put a different episode. For example, there was a Christmas episode I remember, so I remember how I like the team up with some characters. He had a great team up with Plastic Man in several episodes, or with Green Lantern, and I just remember some of these and say, okay, I want something more lighthearted. I'm going to watch that, but that's it. El Turner says Frank Miller's Batman was in The Brave and the Bold. It was my favorite episode. Or wasn't he in actually the animated show, but in the fourth season that was different? Wasn't this there? I don't remember really. Mhm. Something else, Tsunami, in the chat?
see. Yeah, there's plenty of stuff in the chat.
Let's see it.
So Frank Miller's. I'm sorry, you just read that one. L. Turner
Mm.
says W. Oh wow, that episode with Joe Chill sounds pretty interesting.
Oh
I
yes,
agree.
do find it, El, and it's called Chill of the Night. Just find it somewhere if you can. Great episode indeed. That's actually the best episode that they did in that show, and really they showed, look, we can do serious stuff like the other show, guys. Yeah, so
Why can't you keep the tone the same the entire? Like I would much rather have
because
preferred.
the idea of that show was to be Brave and the Bold was to be totally different from the other things that we have so far. So
Right.
yeah,
Which I think is
and
a
of course,
mistake.
and
I
of
think
course,
that's how
toys.
Hollywood's messing up.
And of course, toys. I have 2 action figures from that show, so it got me.
This is what I think. Like this like just imagining this boardroom full of scumbags talking about how do we make Batman better, and this exact argument is exactly why we're going to get shit Batman over what should be better.
Yeah.
Like I get it. Like it's still fine. It's just like I would much rather have a more grounded approach. But Vic Martino follows up exactly what you're saying. Brave and the Bold was a good yin to Batman animated series Yang.
Yeah.
True. Lord Dragneel says X-Men, why they got stuck at 6. So you're seeing 2 to 3 choices, and
Yeah, look,
that
the other
is
choices.
each of our 3 picks.
Mm-hmm.
So Empress picked X-Men last. She gave a lot of reasoning for it. Just rewind the VOD and you'll get to hear her personal takes, and I'm sure she's going to make these into short form videos that are a lot easier to consume if you don't feel like that. Vic Martinez says Brave and Bold gave us a later version. Batman is more versatile, right? And it's this is again back to the subjectivity of this. I like the darker aspect of Batman, which I'm going to continue on in my comments. El Turner says, yeah, the animation isn't bad, but it literally takes inspiration from the 50s and 60s Dick Donner era.
That's the thing, yeah. That's the thing, really. Even each one of them, even characters who appeared actually later in years, they look as if they were from the 60s and the 50s and the 60s. So that's kind of weird in that way.
El Turner continues with, what disturbs me is that James Gunn is already saying he wants to make a live action movie based off Batman the Brave and the Bold, and yet he says he wants to make it seriously. You've just illustrated my point 100%. He
he's
knows that
talking
he can get
about
away with this fiasco
Batman the
humor.
Brave and the Bold, the comic book, you know, which is that that's again disturbing because basically that comic book is again he meeting with other characters, which is totally what James Gunn would do because he can't do a movie about just one character. So it's again
Right.
disturbing, you know. Yeah.
It's got to be the team up, and there has
Yeah.
to be the option to throw in goofy humor and whatever. It's going to be a nightmare. Brave and the Bold. I'm sorry. Over on the Gamer Empress channel, one of my favorite Batmans, the animated series episodes was Almost Got Him.
Hmm.
I don't remember the titles. Oh
Almost
yeah,
Got
don't
Him
forget the
Tsunami
Batman 2004 series.
is the episode in which some of the villains were playing cards and each one of them was saying how they almost got him.
Oh, and they all yeah, I
Yeah.
did like that one.
Mm.
That was the dogs playing poker. They just
Yeah.
give the villains.
Yeah.
Smart. Don't forget the Batman 2004 series. Underrated, in my opinion.
It's really great. As I said, if I want something that is in between the Batman, the animated show, and the Brave and the Bold one, but the Batman from 2004 is actually really great in that aspect. Hell, they made everybody able to fight the Joker knew kung fu and the Penguin too, and I said that's kind of cool. Okay, I mean, it was really great, and in the fifth season, I think they kind of make it like the Brave and the Bold because it was every episode with meeting another character, but before that it was really great. A good Batgirl they introduced there, Robin after that in season 4. So it is a good show, yeah. Mm-hmm. I think that's it.
Let's see. L. Turner says there's no way that you can make Brave and the Bold a serious film. Gun is nuts.
I mean, there is a way. The way is if it's not James Gunn behind it, you know. So that's the only thing. Otherwise,
If he just it's so stupid.
yeah. I mean, it
Just,
will be Batman and
like,
Robin all
walk
over
away
again.
from the project and see dollar signs. It's
Yeah.
so easy to do.
That's it.
And frankly, this list of 6 is exactly the reason why it's so easy to do.
Yeah.
These writers are literally retarded. It's like the script is written for them. It's so dumb. Elton
Okay.
says, I won't be surprised if we get a Batman and Scooby-Doo live-action team-up movie. Man, you're fucking with my childhood. I kind of like those.
What did I miss?
That actually happened, yes, in the 60s, and then there was an animated movie with the Batman from Batman the Brave and the Bold show who meets up with the Scooby-Doo gang. It was good. But for the movie, hell no.
Yeah.
No.
I don't want to see a movie about it. I'm just like, I thought it was cool that the detectives met with the detective, and it was kind of fun.
Yeah.
Okay.
But again, I was a child at the time.
We really
Robin
should
looked cool in that
continue to do.
2004 one.
Yes. Let's continue now. The Empress is back.
We don't have
All set?
a lot of time as well. So, okay, tonight please let it rip. Who is your
Number
number
2?
2? Tell
Number
us what
2
you
is
know.
X-Men for me. X-Men, a lot of what Logan already stated is the reason why. Comic books had finally decided to start tackling more mature topics. I didn't feel like I was being played with. Someone was jangling keys to me. All of a sudden, I had to go ahead and deal with more mature topics. And even things that I didn't understand at the time, whether it was meant to or not, I was forced to ask more questions. So X-Men seeing the team up, the first team up, in my opinion, where they did everything just really well. This is how I was introduced to this. I got to see all these characters. They weren't treated like child's toys. It felt like I was really watching something from someone's imagination in an alternate universe, and animated was the only way you could get across with it, which made a lot of sense to me at the time because of current, technology and what was going on with movies. So for me, I love this story when it first came out. I was hooked every Saturday. I was like absolutely locked in. The 2-episode to 3-episode overarching story that went week to week used to drive me crazy. I would have talks to my friends. This is basically like one of the major reasons why I had like a nerd revolution at the time. And me and my friends would sit around. I literally almost got into a fist fight over how I thought Wolverine was so fucking badass, but in one episode, Magneto is literally, he makes him cry because he's pulling a skeleton out of him, which
Yeah.
actually happened. And so, like,
Oh my god.
it was pretty heated back in the day. I absolutely loved it. The women were amazing. The dudes seemed like heroes. The stories were like over the top. And even if I could keep up with some of them, I loved seeing it. It was fantastic. Music, aesthetic, everything, and that rogue booty. End my comments.
Indeed. Oh, ho, ho, as Gambit would say.
Ah,
Oh, ho, ho, I guarantee. Yeah.
Great, Logan.
Number 2. Surprise, surprise. Well, Superman for number 2. Superman the animated show, which actually, when I first saw this show, my very first Superman show that I watched was the Fleischer cartoon, which, if it wasn't the Fleischer animated show, by the way, we wouldn't have Batman the animated show and this here, you know. So, but this was what I always wanted to see in Superman in, you know, a moving form. Let's say it like that, not in a movie or in a cartoon, just in a moving form. Because
You mean translated from the comic books?
yeah, because when I watched the Fleischer show, I knew nothing about Superman, you know, and it was cool. Then I start with the comic books and I understand, oh wait, he can do this and this, and it's very different as a character and everything else. And I never saw that, not even in the Christopher Reeve movie. Sorry, no, that was a different era again. But in that show, I actually see everything I wanted from Superman. You know, it was the much like kind of in the Justice League cartoon when they're going to push him like shooting something, he breaks a wall, but then he actually gets up and he continues, and they say, "Oh, that's Superman over there." You know, yeah, you can kind of push him aside with hitting or something, but he gets up, he continues. There is no, you know, Crypto. Take me home and stuff like that. No, you see the confidence, you see Superman, you see him flying, you see the total different thing of Batman, as the Empress said, because it is supposed to be. Metropolis is supposed to look, you know, lighter and different deco style, you know, of the art style, different cars, just a different feeling. And again, they learned from Batman in some ways, and they again introduce villains that were pretty much nobodies in comic books, and they made them interesting again, like the Parasite, like Metao. I love that Metao. That's my very favorite version of Metao. You know, they gave him purpose. It was another guy before that. Great Lex Luthor that is supposed to be menacing, and when you see that guy, you know, oh, this guy is not good. You know, and just the connection between Superman and Lex Luthor is great. There is nothing like, you know, Luthor, where is the dog? No, he flies to his office. He's looking at him like that. Luthor is explaining some stuff, you know, like, this is my city and blah, blah, blah. And he says, I'll keep an eye on you. And Lex is angry, as it's supposed to be, not Superman being irritated by hashtag super shit or whatever. So this to me is the best version of Superman. There were other cartoons, and before that there was one in the 80s from the Ruby Spear Studios. No, this is it. This is Superman as it's supposed to be. You want to make a movie about Superman? Watch this. Just watch this. You already have it. You know, in every episode. True. Yesterday I rewatched the episode The Late Mr. Kent with my son, actually, who was very surprised in that episode because he's doing reporting there. You know, he's investigating, and he said, what is happening? And say, he's investigating now, don't worry. That's a great episode, actually.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
It's very interesting.
It's compelling.
Yeah, and you know how he's using his powers. They from there they began to introduce some of the other characters, like the Flash. There was Aquaman. There is Doctor Fate, and you begin to think, oh, something is happening here. You know, they introduced Batman, and both of them were equal. You know, in that show, there was not you know, Batman is our favorite, so no, he will one up him all the time. No, they actually work together, and I say, this is it, working as a team together, not, you know, now I'm going to punch you because you're way different. No. Amazing show indeed. Every time I want to watch something with Superman, I just go back to that. That's it.
Great. So my number 2.
What about you now? Oh yeah, he said yes. Sorry.
He said it.
No, X-Men, yes. Sorry, I talked so much that I forgot. Sorry. Yeah.
Hey, I'm being a gentleman. I give you guys first go, and I'm last.
Emancipation.
Yeah. So.
Oh, modern.
Yeah. So number 2 is Justice League Unlimited. because once again, it gives me everything that I need. And it gives me all the superheroes and everything, and the stories are great, and everything is great. You see some pretty cool Superman moments there. You see amazing moments from every character, pretty much. And that's really it. We're gonna continue to number one, but first let's hear what people have to say.
Slipknot fan in the house. Bros pulled a Raiden from Mortal Kombat Annihilation and got himself a new look.
Thank
Talking
you.
about you, Logan.
I'm gonna take the credit.
Yeah.
Empress did do the hairdo.
Yeah,
Rick Martinez
she's the
says, off the
hairdresser.
subject a bit, but I'm good at multitasking, and I'm watching Zack Snyder's Rebel Moon. I'm sorry. Before I head to bed, 4:32 here now. I'm like Batman, up all night. Facts. Watching Rebel Moon while listening to this podcast. Multitasking.
You should sleep.
You should sleep, yeah.
Sleep is good.
He's at work. He works at night.
Oh, okay.
L. Turner says, I hear you, Logan, but I couldn't get past Bruce Timm's super angular art dynamic. Everything looked like it was drawn with a ruler, especially in terms of the anatomy of Superman with so little detail.
Well, that's the style, but again, don't forget that style, of course, subjective, but to me, that style gave much more movement. You know, because you want to see a detailed, muscular Superman.
Of course, always.
The show from I think the end of the 80s, kind of 87 or 89, right after.
Like this one.
Yeah.
This one is like a AI enhanced image of Superman. You see details on his muscles, even his chest a little bit. He's much more handsome and whatever. This would be perfection, but probably much more expensive to make.
But again, what I was saying, you want to see more comic book accurate Superman. That's the show from the end of the 80s, the Ruby Spears Superman. Just write Ruby Spears Superman. It has one season, I think 26 episodes. It looks like the comic books from that days. Great art. Problem to me is that it's again doing what every other show is doing. You know, it's every episode is the bumbling buffoon Quark. You know, the voice, what is happening,
I mean,
and
the
something is
quality
happening.
is another topic, though.
The story,
Yeah,
exactly.
the story of
the character.
story.
And by the way, that bumbling Clark Kent was never in comic books. You know, just saying. You know, that's something they did for the movie to, you know, make the difference between the two. But I understand that style really, the Blues team style is not for everyone. I love it. To me, it's really dynamic, and the story was what got me more. So I was able to go past that, especially after watching X-Men, and I say, well, this is how you should draw superheroes. But then I say, okay, but here is the story. Yeah.
Yeah, so I would love to have both story and great drawing. Hopefully someday.
Hopefully someday. Yeah, hopefully someday.
So yeah, then next comments, please.
Vic Martinez says, I got off work at 4 a.m., but don't go to sleep right away. Understood. Hopefully the dulcet tones of the Bulgarians and me screeching about whatever nonsense I'm screeching about will put you to sleep. L. Turner says, I agree. I'm a big Superman fan of the old cartoon designs from the 50s.
Hey, here you go. So you have your thing, yeah. That's the thing, yeah.
Truth over on the Gamer Empress channel says, oh yeah, don't forget the 2004 series, but he continues with Robin looked cool in that one. By far my favorite Robin design came from that show. It's no wonder why people hated Superhero Squad, even though I kind of liked it. In Superman the Animated Series, it's always fun when Lobo is around.
Oh, that's a great episode with Lobo, yes. I think there were 3 episodes with him, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I think that's it.
All set, that's it.
Okay, let's move on to number one. So, who is the all-time best animated superhero series of all time, according to first Tsunami?
My hands-down favorite, of course, is going to be Batman. Not my favorite comic book character of all time, but definitely the most groundbreaking show, which absolutely broke away from the 80s, 70s, and beyond model of cartoons had to be childlike. It had to be made for kids. When the animated series came out, it had followed on the heels of the Michael Keaton Batman first movie coming out, super dark and everything else. Kids my age were really used to Adam West, the very campy, fun 60s Batman who seemed very unserious. And the animated series unapologetically like bulldozed into this and set this amazing aesthetic. The noir, everything else. They went for this very specific art style. And Batman, you felt the struggles. Of course, amazing voice acting by Kevin Conroy. To me, this isn't just like me as a kid that appreciates this. I watch this pretty regularly. And yeah, there's some good and bad episodes here and there, whatever. I would take Batman the Animated Series, any one of them, hands down over any of the shit that's being put out nowadays, barring a few exceptions. So yeah, I really think that this show smashed the mold for cartoons or for kids and turned it into there's some really great stories that we may not have the technology to be able to tell the way that we want to, or this is the medium that I've chosen to do so. But from lighting, everything else, I'm no expert in any way, shape, or form. I was hooked. Every day I'm trying to go ahead and watch this thing. When it was available as a kid after school, I was in high school even, but I loved absolutely everything about this show. So that's it.
Okay,
Yeah,
Logan.
Well, surprise again. Batman, the animated show, of course, and that has nothing to do. It has nothing to do with the fact. That has nothing to do with nostalgia or anything. It's because much like Tsunami, I also go back to that show pretty regularly, especially around winter because it's kind of that wintry feeling. I actually rewatched the Christmas episode, you know, because it's a tradition for that. But that's a lighthearted episode, by the way. So it's really the quality of the story. And now when I watched it first as a child, of course, to me it was a Batman show. I want a Batman show. I want a Batman show. The Batman. I just watched the movie, and Batman show. So I didn't get all the things with the how deep actually the stories are. To me, it was a Batman show. He's throwing a battle and he's doing the Batman stuff. But then watching more and more, I began to understand. Oh, those people actually give us serious stuff here. You watch Heart of Ice, the episode, and you see this the dramatic driven narrative with Mr. Freeze, and you say, oh, they made him interesting. I remember the episode as a child being fun because hey, that's the guy with the ice gun that now is going to freezes everything. And then Batman will throw his what was the chicken soup over his helmet and defeat him and things like that. But then I say, oh, but wait, now there is more. The thing with his wife, and actually Heart of Ice is not Mr. Freeze, it's the guy who did everything to him. That was that philanthropy guy that was actually a bad guy, and you say, oh, that's not for Mr. P. He actually has feelings. This guy doesn't. And episodes were like with Clayface. Some of them are like horror episodes, but in Batman, some of them feel like detective episodes, but with Batman as it should be. These are all short stories that they say. And Bruce Timm said that we try to tell short stories in that form, how just like if we had a full movie at our in disposal. And best voice actor for that, though Kevin Conley was kind of woke in the end, but anyway, still love him as a voice actor. Just the sheer fact that if you replace him, you immediately know that that's not him. You immediately say, oh, because they tried other Batman voices in some of the other shows and the cartoons, and to me, no, it doesn't work. But the fact that in Superman, for example, they replace Tim Daly, who voiced Superman in the animated series, and then they replace him with another guy in the Justice League, and nobody noticed, and they say, yeah, that's just telling. That's just telling,
I mean, he's great, but his voice is
great.
Not so hard to replicate.
No, really, yeah, and that's it. Whereas actually, the closer thing to Kevin Conroy, as Batman to me was Bruce Greenwood. Bruce Greenwood, I think, was his name from Young Justice. Yes, that's an okay voice, but everybody else just put me to sleep. And yeah, it doesn't think that you're a child, that show. Really, it knows how to show you a good story. They got over the censorship. They still had real guns. Nobody had to die. You don't need adult themes like in that new shitty thing, the Cape Crusader. Just no, the Cape Crusader to me is the example. What happens when to the same creators you give the freedom now? Oh yeah, now go out. There is no censorship, and then you have a shitty woke show.
Great.
Whereas actually in the animated series, you tell them you have certain limits, do whatever you can with that. And they did it. And everybody can go back to that show.
Oswald
Even
Copperpot.
yeah, and even people who have never seen Batman, for example, they go back to that show. They have never watched anything else. For them, this is it. You know. I want to say something more, but I forget.
Well, we don't have
Yeah,
time.
and we don't have time anyway.
Okay.
Batman, yeah.
Batman.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
I remember.
Okay.
Quickly, controversial. But my most favorite episode of that is actually not one of the big hitters. It's a small episode called "Meeting on Crime Alley," in which there is a great scene how he must stop a tram full of people with the Batmobile. You know, he tries to get inside the tram, it doesn't work, then he adapts. This is the essence of Batman. He adapts to the situation and decide, okay, very quickly I'm going to stop it with my Batmobile. And I love that moment, you know. I just love that moment. It's a great smaller episode, you know, which is more like a crime episode and things like that. So really, really amazing, yes.
Oh,
Thank you. You can say now about Superman, I guess.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, so number 1 is Superman, of course.
Yeah.
Like nothing else is left. And I
Who would have
already,
guessed?
yeah, nobody could get. Well, who could have guessed of
could
your
have guessed,
choice?
yes.
Of your choice. So it's the same thing. Okay, so Superman, of course, because it's Superman is the best representation of Superman that we ever have
Have.
gotten. Yeah, it's Superman that is truly Superman, as Superman should be. The only minus is that he's a bit nerfed,
A bit.
and hopefully someday they can fix that. Probably not, but in terms of everything else, storytelling, quality, and Superman in ink, many, yes,
Great Lois Lane too.
Grace Roy. Sorry.
Grace Lloyd.
Grace, is very hard to talk about like that. Great Lois Lane, and everything is great. It just gave me the best childhood memories, and I want to be Superman more than all the other heroes. That's pretty telling because I
Indeed.
want to be Spider-Man and Batman, but most of all, I wanted to be Superman,
Yes.
not Supergirl. I want to be
No.
Superman.
Great Supergirl in that show too. By
Too.
the way.
But yeah, just love Superman because he embodies everything that is good and pure, and he always does the best he can, makes the best choices that he can, and you can see how he does that because he's also intelligent, which is rarely
Oh yeah.
shown in
Yeah,
other
rarely
things.
shown indeed.
They show how he is really intelligent, how he struggles with everything, but he always shows the best strength of character, and that is what makes him eligible to have these powers. Because we know that if he's not so virtuous, he's gonna become just a villain. But he's so strong in terms of character that he's able to wield these powers in the best way, and he's always going to choose the greater good as well. So he's just absolute perfection in terms of how he is so super in every single in every way, and this animation shows that he's super in terms of the man that he is, of course, the powers, how he thinks, how he acts, how he feels. Everything about Superman is great, and it is an ideal to strive towards as human beings. To have all these qualities is possible without the superpowers, and that's what is that's the point of Superman. That's the point of this animation, to show you that you can actually be just like Superman if you have the mindset and the discipline, the courage and the heart and the soul. I mean, you can if you strive towards that, even if you don't feel like you do have it. But this animation shows you how in practice you can make the best choices possible, even if you're facing horrible situations in your life.
In a way, actually, the creators of the show did exactly something like that because they're the same guys who created Batman, the animated show, and they were not their record saying that we are not the biggest Superman fans, but we have to do the best job we can with that character, and they did it. They went out of the wait a minute, we are now so much of Batman fans that we can't do anything else. So, and they did it and did a great job with Superman. So they actually went out of the box and said, let's do justice to the character that we have to work with.
Yeah, also, I don't think that Truth says that I'm biased 3 times. I don't think that I'm biased
I think he's joking.
because hold on, because I'm basing everything that I like in life in general, I'm basing it on qualities. I'm basing it literally on qualities. So to me, Superman is the epitome of every quality that I want to also have and that I want people to have. And I see that in him. He's the only
Yeah.
superhero that is inspiring to the maximum degree. So I will like Superman for that. I don't like Superman just because he is Superman or how people don't see him at all. They just see the surface level. I'm the opposite. I see all the deeper layers and levels of what makes him super. So I'm connecting to all of that as a whole. And I do not see that in other characters. They all have something of Superman. It's just like the Emperor of Mankind analogy, basically. I'm going to make an analogy with that, with Warhammer. You know, the Primarchs that come from the Emperor of Mankind, they all have something that he has, but they are not the complete package. He is. I mean, he's not goodness or whatever. He's the light. That's a very complicated topic. The point is, in terms of just analogy, that here's the guy that everybody else comes from. He's the father, like the old father. And in this case, like Superman is the father of all superheroes. They all have something from him, but they don't have everything. So, what values, qualities, and light the Superman animated series is showing me, how much respect also they're showing to Superman as a character, and whatever else characters they had, including Batman. All of that is amazing, and it's great. It's just perfect. It's how it's supposed to be. So I like that because it has all of those qualities. If Superman was not called Superman, he was called something else, man, and he had all of that, I'm just gonna like that. So I'm not attracted, or I do not like that character because it's this character, whatever people think of him. I like him because what he represents, all the qualities that he has, and his quality doesn't mention his quality. So it just gives me everything, and it focuses on Superman, which I really want. I really want like super focused story on Superman because we have to emphasize how important he is and and
Yeah,
how
people forget
he
that.
really is. People forget it. People don't like him because they don't understand him. They don't want to get deeper. This is the animation that I can show to everybody and be like, "Hey, you misunderstand Superman.
Yeah.
He's
Totally.
actually super relatable and amazing, and he's actually like one of the deepest heroes ever, just because he represents everything that we should be as human beings. And you are totally cynical about him, and that's the opposite of what he is showing you. So it's like he is the beacon of everything good, and you're sitting there being cynical about him because that was not interesting. No, you don't get it. The only meaning in life is to be the best person that you can be, because if you are, everybody else, and if you are and everybody else are trying to do the same, if they take Superman's example, the whole planet, the whole humanity is going to be better.
Yeah, totally.
You have to realize that, and this is the only one that matters. There's not going to be any cynicism then. There's not going to be any wars and bullshit and disingenuous people and emotion. Everybody's just going to focus on being the best version of themselves, be honest, uh, be serious about how they go about life, be respectful to others and themselves. If you all follow Superman, you wouldn't need Batman. There wouldn't be Batman. There wouldn't be
Batman,
anybody.
Yeah.
Because all people are gonna be this amazing example for the next person next to them. And the next person is gonna be a great example for the next person next to them. That's how it should
Wait.
be. So that's why I like
Why?
Superman. Hold on, I'm almost done. That's why I like Superman, and that's why you can say I'm biased because I don't have any emotional connection that has no basis. I understand to be biased when you're like so connected to something, just for like what reasons exactly? Can you articulate every single thing that makes you love a certain hero or series or whatever? Well, I can. I can do that.
That's the
So
thing, yeah.
I don't think that I'm biased in that kind of a way. If Batman represented all the things that I want to see in humanity and as a hero, I would love Batman more. But he doesn't. He's the darker side, and how you would react if something bad happens to you. And I love him and what he can do and his strength of will and character, and he has amazing qualities as well. It's just that he represents the darker side of what a person could be if he, taps into his willpower and abilities.
Also, he said it in comic books that I'm happy that I don't have the powers that Clark has, because I would have done bullshit with them, and not in that with those words, but he said that he would go crazy and probably wouldn't be able to control because Truth says, remember that Superman explained to Darkseid why he's holding back in that cool monologue of his. Exactly, that's why he's the one who has those powers. Only he can hold back and still do the thing he has to. Batman said it in many times in comic books. I wouldn't be able to hold back, because Batman has this trauma of his that actually I don't think is something that he can't get over it. To me, for example, the trauma of the Punisher, it's way bigger because he lost his wife and his children. There is nothing worse for a parent than to actually outlive his children. If we have to compare, really, Batman can just get on with his life and still do the things that he has to, in a way. But, yeah.
You're getting into another topic, but
Yeah.
okay. I mean, that's why I love Superman. End of story. Now let's see the chat, and then we have to go.
Yeah.
Here's my revised list. Batman, the animated series 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Lol, says Vic Martino. Turner says, yes, sir. Batman numero uno. Great voice acting on Batman the Animated Series. A Slipknot fan continues with, I didn't realize the guy who voiced Two-Face is Richard Mole. Big Ben from House, also from Night Court. Bias. We already covered that.
Yeah.
L. Turner says, Empress, if you ever want to go look for James Gunn and make him apologize for that crap he gave us on the big screen over this past summer, I'm with you. Just kidding.
Yeah, I'm
Slipknot
gonna
fan
totally twist
says,
his arm. Yeah.
Yeah.
WB didn't even have the decency to replace the Snyderverse, something worth a damn. True.
Yeah.
Ultra
True.
says, Empress, you and Logan have honestly convinced me to go back and watch Superman the Animated Series again. For my take, since I put him number 5, the only reason he's number 5, in my opinion, is the reasons I gave. If you ever want to know about Superman or try and introduce Superman to anyone else, Superman the Animated Series is the best way for someone to go ahead and dive into who Superman is, what his importance is, at least from like a vast majority of people, and you could start your argument there. So I would, if I could put Batman number 1 and 2, as in they released at the same time, and we're doing character studies, I would have ranked it completely differently. That's just me, again, like random guy.
If we do character studies, actually, I'll put Superman because you understand way better who Superman is. Yeah.
I would actually change my ranking completely, and a lot of that has to do with what Empress just said.
Yeah, absolutely.
There is one shining beacon of hope.
Totally.
Boy Scout,
that's why it's
annoying, boring, whatever the hell it is, all the negative comments, it doesn't matter. This is supposed to be the icon of all icons. And
exactly.
So, like, of course, my ranking would change a lot then.
Yeah.
Elturner says, Logan, that sounds like something Batman would say.
About, I would do shit with those powers, yeah. I just want to say, that's why I said that Superman, the show, is totally the opposite of Batman, the show, because it was supposed to be. People can say, you know what, I want a show about Superman that is going to be darker Superman. And that ain't no Superman then.
No.
Yeah.
Dark Superman is retarded.
No.
It's memes in the house. What's up?
Hey.
L. Turner says, y'all were great tonight. I can't wait for Zack Snyder to return. We'll see what happens then.
Yeah.
And Tekla over in the Gamer Empress chat. Oh, shit. Wrong button. Batman the Animated Series best Saturday, Sunday cartoon. Truth says, Heart of Ice episode will make a grown man cry. Fantastic episode.
Fantastic.
The Man Who Killed Batman. Man, you guys are taking me back. Joker's Favor. Love the first minute of that episode. It's worth a rewatch anytime you want to. Truth says, now remember that Superman. Okay, got it. My Adventures with Superman. I didn't bother to watch the second season.
We didn't even bother past the first episode.
Yeah, lame.
The moment I saw him that he's kind of not confident because his first day at job and he broke his water tap because he couldn't control his powers, and I say,
that's not Superman.
No, thank you.
That's a lame man.
Thank you. And that's it.
And we're all caught up. Last thing I'd say is this. I'm sure there's going to be people that are going to watch VODs and everything else afterwards. If you're going to shit on us, which I assume that you're going to, please write why in detail, because that's the fun of the argument. That's the whole reason we started it, was to actually go ahead. If you want to do subjective or objective, then make sure you put that in the comments. Don't just say, like, you guys are gay or something weird like that. And that'd
Yeah,
be
and don't
super
forget,
fun.
guys, these are the big six we're going to do with Spider-Man from the 80s and things like that. Because saw that man of culture. I think he said, "What about the Spider-Man show from the 80s?" Well, these are the conceptually the big hitters that we have here. That's why we decided to let's first rank those, as we said in the beginning, because for people it would be hard because they're all great. We love all of them.
And my last comment, real quick, because I know we got to go. In chat, if you guys are listening in, don't just say it in chat right now. Please put it in the comments. Put your list and what you want to see in the future from this channel,
Yeah.
so that you guys can go ahead and get involved in another conversation for later on.
Yeah,
Can you definitely
totally.
help out like
Tsunami
that?
out.
Okay.
Yes.
So guys, really gotta go. Thank you so much for watching. Definitely leave a comment down below. Share this stream. I'm gonna cut the intro later so it's more watchable. When YouTube, renders it and whatever, gives me that option. But we should be back later tonight with something, either a game or something else. We'll see. So in 9 hours and a half. But with that being said, love you guys. Till next time, with me, the 40K Empress and Logan. Yes.
Yeah.
Why is
Yeah.
that on this? Ah.
It's on the side,
Okay.
but we're not by it yet.
No. Okay. Love you guys. Bye bye.
The 40K Empress leads the way as warriors of the imperium sway into realms where dangers play, where hidden minds hold sway. Through stars and storms we rise, under her watchful eyes, with faith and fire will prevail, for the imperium must not fail. For the imperium we prevail. Beneath the grand cathedral spires, plots twist like smoldering fires, but with her blade of pure desire, she claims the stars entire. Through stars and storms we rise,